On today's podcast, I completely reinvent the crossword for the way we live today. I explain how to pluck a pheasant, and I discuss potato profiteering, why buckets should be seen and not heard, how to inject brand new words into society without sounding like a fucking dictionary, and lots more. Hello.
Into your head.
Not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pheasant plucker, I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pheasant plucker, I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I'm not a pleasant bollocks. That was quite good considering everything. Considering I'm not a frigging professional studio operator or I'm not your man who produced the Beatles or what's his face. I'm not him. I managed to get through that without any sort of I didn't really, but you know what I mean. Let's try this. We try this. Might as well. Pheasant pluckers, that's what they call them. They call them big, fancy, steaming, dolloping piles of pheasant pluckers. Although, if they're doing it properly, there shouldn't be any steaming, smelly crap on the stuff. My understanding, based on assumption of the whole process of plucking a pheasant or any other fowl, is that there shouldn't be any foul materials, if you like, in the... Oh, that's very clever. There should be no foul materials in the feathers. By that I mean the feathers should be clean. They shouldn't have any crap, foul crap on them. The pheasant, you get your fowl, your guinea fowl or your pheasant fowl or your chicken fowl, and you pull all the feathers off and you put them in a basket or something. Don't put them in some sort of a bucket, because that's just vulgar. Not that it does anything bad to the process, but I don't like when I see food places where they use buckets. Now I know damn well that they're clean buckets. They're not taking a bucket from some fucking farmyard or dump or toilet or something and using that for food. But still, even if you buy the bucket and have it completely clean and sterile, I don't want to see buckets in use. When I go into my delicatessen and you go taking frigging beef, slices of beef out of a bucket or some sort of plastic box that looks like it was used to sort out maggots in a frigging fish farm dump in the recycling part of a fish farm where they take out the parts of the fish, for example, any maggots that the fish might have accidentally eaten, and put that in a bucket and decide where they're going to send it to some offshoot industry, because that's the way industry works nowadays. Every single leftover bit is sent off to some side industry. I can tell you, when you buy mashed potatoes, I just realised this recently. When you buy ready-made mashed potatoes, if you go round the corner into the next aisle, you'll find a packet of potato skins on sale, and they'll be from the exact same potatoes, and you'll buy them for the next day. You'll have bought the same potato twice and paid twice for it. I just realised this myself recently. I started buying potato skins that you put in the oven oven, because I was already buying mashed potato separately. Some days you'd have potato skins, and some days you'd have mashed potato. It's the same fucking potato, and this is why my country has gone down the tubes. 150 years ago, I can tell you, we had a lot more respect for potatoes when you couldn't get any. Now you can buy the same one twice, and you hand over your hard-earned cash or credit card. I have credit card nowadays. That's the new thing. They'll say, "Do you have a credit? How will you be paying, sir or madam?" And I'll say, "Oh, you'll find out in a minute when I take out my wallet, as I'm doing now." Of course, I always have my wallet out. I'm not one of those people who you'll be behind in the queue and you'll be sitting there for 5 minutes not having my money ready for when I'm asked for it. No, I'll have my wallet out. I'll have a fiver and a tenner and a 20 sticking out halfway at an angle so I can see each one clearly and have them ready. I'll have my several loyalty cards sticking out with the one I need to the front, and I'll be ready. I'll be damn well ready to pay, I can tell you. And I'll say, "How much do you want me to give you?" And they'll say, €28.75, please. Or sometimes they'll say €30.02 is how much I want you to give me. But they'll say, "But please don't give me €40. If you're going to give me €40, give me an extra 2 cents or whatever the loose amount was to cover it." That's when they get greedy, I can tell you. They'll say, "That'll be €30.07, please." And I'll give them €40, and they'll say, "Oh, you wouldn't have another 7, would you?" I fucking well would not. I've given you well over the odds already, and I'm only doing this because I'm hoping you'll accidentally shortchange me and I'll make some money out of the transaction, because I don't need to have this €40 in my wallet at all. I could have left that extra 10 sitting in my account earning interest for another day or two, but no, I have to carry it around with me just so I can make change for your odd amounts. Fuck you, you cunt. Fuck you, retail industry, with your schemes, with your potato dividing. It's like the what's that thing? The Schrodinger's cat theory. It's some sort of theory as this scientist fella did, where there's some sort of atomic nuclear thing in a box, and there's a cat in it, and he's both dead. It's both a dead cat and a live cat at the same time. It's the same with potato skins, except that doesn't advance science in any way, unless you consider ripping people off as science, and that's exactly what they do. They think ripping people off is a science. You go in the door of the supermarket now, and you're hit straight in the face with the fist of the smell of fake bread smells that they pump around the place, and you think, "Oh, that's a lovely smell of bread. Can I buy that, please?" And they'll say, "Yes, indeed. Go down here. You can buy a little dispenser." The dispenser is very cheap, the smell dispenser. They'll sell you a smell dispenser for 50 cents, and they'll say, "We'll give you your first bucket of smell cheap." But then you come back the next day, you say, "Can I have a refill cartridge for this smell dispenser, please? I like having the smell of fresh bread in my toilet because it's easier than cleaning." And they'll say, "Yes, certainly. The refill costs €8.99, and you have to buy a packet of Gillette Sensor XL 8-blade razors with it as well, unless you want to steal those, because apparently everyone's stealing those now. They keep them behind the counter. Everyone thinks the first thing that happens when I go into a shop now is that they start putting the blades behind the counter, because they think, "Oh, that fella, he looks like the sort of fella who'll steal blades." And no, if I was that much into blades, I can tell you I'd buy one. The same people with the gun, the people with the guns, the people who are really into guns, who go around gun tooting and saying, "Oh, the right to bear arms and the right to arm bears," they don't wait for an opportunity to steal a gun from a supermarket, I can tell you. No, they'll have one already. They'll have either inherited one or they'll have bought one when they were 12 years of age. They'll make damn sure to own a gun. Those people, you see them. You go around and they have them on the stickers. They'll say, "I'll give up my gun over your dead body. That's what I'll do." It's true, I suppose, because when they're dead and they have their gun in their hand, some fella, some CSI fella or some criminal minds fella will come along and say, oh, let's take a few photographs of this. Make sure you're wearing a white coat and handling everything with paper towels, and we'll take some photographs, and we'll take a genetic swab of the gun, and then we'll take the gun out and we'll pry the gun from that fella's cold dead hands, and we'll put it in the clear bag, like a sandwich bag, except it's an evidence bag. A sandwich bag, though, in the way, that's an evidence bag as well, because that's why it's see-through, so you can have a look. It's evidence of the freshness and edibility of your lunch before you eat it. You look at it through the transparent plastic and you see, oh, that looks like a sandwich. There's this here boy constitutes evidence that there's a sandwich in this bag, just the appearance of the sandwich through the see-through bag. So that makes it an evidence bag. It's a food evidence bag. Absolutely. It's just like a menu, except you don't have to print it. You just put the food in restaurants could do that. They could just put all the food in see-through bags. You'll say, can I have a look at the menu, please? And they'll say, it's not so much a menu anymore. It's more of a book of samples, and they'll give you a ring binder, and it'll have little sandwich bags with the food in each one, and you'll pick one out, and you'll say, I'll have that, please. And they'll take the sandwich bag out, they'll poke holes in it with a fork and put it in the microwave, and then they'll give it to you, and you'll say, what kind of a fucking restaurant is this? And they'll say, a cheap one, just like the one, because I used to pass a lunch place when I worked in the city. It had burgers and sandwiches on display in hot fridges. I don't know what you call them, hot display cabinets. And you'd put in a coin and you'd buy it straight out of the vending machine. But there'd be people behind the counter there doing something as well. I think they were just putting food into the vending machine. You had vending machines, and they had people behind the counter. You could go in with your coin, and you'd never have to look at the people who made your food, which was probably the idea. They probably weren't very well. That's not fair. This was back in the old days when everyone in Ireland was rushing around at lunchtime saying, "Oh, lunch is for wimps." I'm going to go into that place where you put a coin in the thing and you take out a hot chicken microwave sandwich and you shove it down your gob while you walk around the ILAC Centre wondering why it's still such a kip still. And then they renovated it, and then the recession happened. I haven't been there since, but I assume everyone's gone out of business now and it's going back to being a shithole. Anyway, on with the show. Potato profiteering. 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 Well, that was less eventful than I'd hoped. Partly if you just have a two-word one that comes out quite easy. I think it's because it's a new phrase, not one that's in modern parlance. The pheasant plucker one I've been hearing about all my life, so it's stuck in my head and I've had too long to think about it. But no, potato profiteering, it's just one that's popped into my head in the last few minutes while I was discussing potato skin and potato mash profiteering. So my mind hasn't had too much time to dwell on it. That's probably this. So I think we've figured out how to make a successful tongue twister. Although it's not a successful tongue twister if it doesn't twist your tongue. It's an unsuccessful tongue twister. It's like having a crossword that's too easy, where it says one down, across, and you'll put in in the word across, and it'll say one across, down, and you'll put in the word down, and then you realise across and down don't start with the same letter, but if down is the word going across and across is the word going down, then if you consider that you write the down words in the crossword at 90 degrees, so you put them on the right, a capital D turned 90 degrees to the right looks like a capital A, so you can just write the word across at 90 degrees going down the page, as if you just turned the page on its side into landscape mode. I hope you're following me. I've just invented a new style of crossword while you were sitting there wondering what the fucking hell is he wasting my time for with this crap. I was coming up with I was revolutionising the newspaper crossword for you. You weren't even listening. You're welcome. Two lawnmowers walk into a bar. One of the lawnmowers straight away goes up to the bar counter and says, "Hello, can somebody serve me, please?" And the fella behind the bar says, "Hello, yes, indeed, somebody can serve you. I don't know how though. I'm sure somebody can though. I'm an optimist. I'm an eternal optimist. I choose to believe that somebody can serve you, regardless of the fact that you're a mere humble lawnmower. Are you an electric one or a petrol one?" And the lawnmower says, "I'm a lawnmower operator. I'm not a lawnmower myself. I'm a person. Have the decency to recognise me as a person, albeit a fictional one on the podcast, fueled by caffeine and energy drinks and caffeine pills and other crap. Currently scrambled egg and toast as well. Scrambled egg, toast, butter by mistake. It was supposed to have margarine, but it has butter on it by mistake, so it's being powered by inadvertent butter today as well as all the rest of the stuff. Apart from that, no, I'm not a lawnmower, as the fella says. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. Well, I'm not a lawnmower. I'm a lawnmower operator. I'm only mowing well, that doesn't necessarily follow through, but you get the idea. I'm not a lawnmower, and when I say I'm just a lawnmower operator, I don't mean just. I mean I'm better than a lawnmower. That's not to say I'm an anti-machine hatred enthusiast or a machinophobic. No, I've nothing against lawnmowers, but I would consider being a lawnmower operator to be something of more, make me more of a person than being a lawnmower does. I'm not a machine, I'm a person. And until the future, when perhaps machines will take over as they already have in science fiction, until then, I'm a superior being to these machines, and I should have. I have higher status than a machine. I hope so, anyway. Unless the Terminator stuff has already happened, in which case we're all rightly. Anyway, could I have a pint of Guinness, please? And the fella behind the bar says, "I'm not the barman. I'm just a fella who you approached and asked, can I be served?" or whoever it was. I don't remember the exact wording, but I'm sure if you sit here for a while, a bar operator will come along any time now, or perhaps a bar machine. Is there a bar machine here? I don't know. There's been a cigarette vending machine for many years, and no one seems to have a problem with that. But if you were to put a vending machine for Guinness on this counter here and not have any people working here, I suspect that might lead to controversy. People, there'd be uproar. They'd say, "You can't have machines operating pubs. Give us a fucking break. A pub is a people person place. It's not a machine person place. A machine isn't a person." As you just quite rightly pointed out yourself, I'm inclined to agree with you, and I apologise for mistaking you for a lawnmower. You're clearly not a lawnmower, you're a person, and you're clearly a person with a bit of pride in himself, and thank Christ there's still people like you around here, because otherwise we just have automated lawnmowers running around all over the place outdoors, and you'd have those robotic vacuum cleaners running around indoors. And what the fuck happens if someone leaves a door open and the two of those creatures meet and they have a demarcation dispute? Then what happens? I don't know. I suppose the grass gets vacuumed and the carpet gets cut. I suppose there's nothing wrong with having a lawn vacuumed. The narrator of this story used to have an outdoor vacuum cleaner. Wasn't much good. Didn't see any purpose to it. There's no point vacuuming up stuff if you're just going to mow the lawn then afterwards and the lawnmower will vacuum it up. But no. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. Do you like this podcast? Well, if you do, you've come to the right place. This is this podcast. Well done. You have remarkable taste in podcasts that you like. You're very good at finding podcasts that you like and picking them out and liking them. If anyone... anyway, this is meant to be an advertisement. So let's not get bogged down in trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. No. Although I'd be quite happy if you made a mountain out of my Amazon affiliate scheme. And thank you to everyone who's been doing so recently. You can support the show every time you buy anything on Amazon without it costing anything. You just go to intoyourhead.com, click through my Amazon links for Amazon.com. If you're American, Amazon.ca for Canadians, Amazon.co.uk for UK and Irelandians. Just click through my Amazon link, then proceed as normal, and I get a generous commission for every purchase that you make if you do it that way, and it doesn't cost you a penny extra. And as a result, the show continues to be one of the finest 3 times a week Irish nonsensical podcastual things of the 20th century. And the 20th, is this the 20th? No, this is the 21st century. In fact, this podcast has never existed in the 20th century, but I have. I grew up in the 20th century. I am a 20th century person. Or am I? No, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah. I am indeed. Oh, there's a text. Hold on a minute. Oh no, that's from me. That's one I sent. That's fine. The green ones are ones I sent. The white ones are ones that come in. I must remember that. I'll close that so it'll pop up. There we go. Anyway, intoyourhead.com, Amazon, hello.
You're listening to Into Your Head, hosted by Neal, Ireland's version of the Octomom. Except he's a dude. And has cats.
Did I ever finish the story about the lawnmower who walked into a bar? I don't think I did. I think I got distracted by the natural conversation that occurred between the fictional characters. Although I wouldn't call that a distraction. I would just call that part of the narration, part of the story. When Stephen King goes and writes The Stand and he says, "Hello, here's the story of The Stand," but then he gets distracted with the backstory of one of the characters. You don't say, "Oh, that's not part of The Stand." That's like a little essay that he stuck in on loose leaf pages in between the first chapter and the second chapter. You do not. You just say, "That's a very long fucking book that could have been shorter." I've read it. I've read the unexpurgated version of The Stand. It's about 1,400 pages of small print, and I can tell you, damn well beats. Well, it doesn't beat. Well, it does beat. No, it sucks. It sucks, and it beats. It beats. Wait a minute. I'm getting my metaphors mixed up. Why do we need metaphors for things? Why can't you just say the fucking thing? If there's a thing that you want to say, just say it. Don't say, I want to say something, but I don't want to say it. Here's another word for it, and the word will contain a clue to what the thing is. But I don't want to say the word itself because I want to be. I think they're just trying to be different. They're trying to vary theory stuff. Because if you're using the same word over and 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 jackpot and over and over and over and monkey and over and over and over and turnip and over and over and over again, you want to occasionally replace the word with an alternative. Well, that's why we have thesauruses. You get out your thesaurus and you put the word over into thesaurus. You don't just make up an alternative thing that has nothing to do with it. You get out your thesaurus. Let's have a look up an online thesaurus here now, and we'll get an alternative word for over. Just bear with me a moment now. This might take a moment. Over search. Over. Main entry over, blah, blah, blah. Antonyms, synonyms. Is that aloft, beyond, the covering, farther? There we go, there's plenty here. So instead of saying over and over and over and over and over again, you can say over and aloft and beyond and further up and higher than and in heaven and in the sky and off and on high and on top of and overhead and over top and straight up and traversely and upstairs and over again. And there's no need for metaphors there then. There's plenty of words available for these things. You can even invent new words if you want. You can say, I've just invented a new word for over. I'm going to inject it into society now. Although you have to think about that a bit, because you can't just decide, my new word for over is eloptu. You have to tell people, you have to inject it carefully into parlance. You have to start throwing it in every now and then. You say, hello, I was just on the walkie-talkie to my friend there, and I said, I started off, I said, hello, is that you, Elopfa? And then the fella said, yes, it is indeed over. And I said, something, so you get the idea. You'll say, you inject that into a conversation now, and someone will say, what's that word you said? I said elopta. And they'll say, what does that mean? And I'll say, it means elopta. I can't think of any other word for it. That's why I used it. Well, it just means elopta. And they'll say, and that way they'll garner its meaning because you used it in context. But you won't have to go, you won't sound like a gobshite giving them a definition of issuing instructions as to how to use your word. You'll just have naturally used it in the conversation. Admittedly, not completely naturally, because you'll have thought about it in advance. But still, it's better than just going around being like a talking dictionary and saying, hello, here's a definition of something. I did that on Twitter this morning. Hold on a minute, what did I say? I was very clever. Hold on a minute and I'll read it to you. I said, ambiguity, noun. 1, vague, indefinite, doubtful, having multiple meanings. 2, a method of frying potatoes. Now that's what you call a clever joke. You can find more of them by following Into Your Head Pod on Twitter. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Do me a fucking favour and retweet it, especially if you got 85 million followers and you're not fucking protected. There's no point retweeting me if you're protected. I'm not a fucking virus. You have to publicly retweet me to the world, you cunts. Anyway, on with the show.
If you would like to comment on any of the issues raised in today's programme, email us at studio@intoyourhead.com. Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener.
Sit, Pippi, sit.
Good cat. Intoyourhead.com.